Hi friends, I'm Zach, and we're so excited that you joined us today. We're continuing our series on Joseph and some important lessons that we can learn from his life. We'll focus on the fact that whatever stage Joseph was in, God was with him all throughout his life. We've been looking at the different ways that God was with Joseph throughout his life. This week, we're going to be learning that God was with Joseph when he forgave his brothers. Now, why don't we stand up and let's get stretching before we go into worship.
It's Sophie and Bailey here. Are you ready to do some stretches? Well, why don't you stand up with us and we'll get warmed up for worship. So first, we're gonna start with our prayer and praise. Ready? So we're gonna do that 4 times. So that's 2 times on each arm. Ready? Ready? Prayer and praise. Good. Prayer and praise. Prayer and praise. One more. Prayer and praise. Good job. Okay, next, we're gonna do some arm circles, so make sure you got lots of room. You don't wanna whack anybody. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. See if you can reach them back. And how fast can you go? Whoa!
I was gonna fly off!
Oh no! Bailey! Are you guys okay? Okay, we're gonna do one more, and they're gonna be our leg kicks. Ready? So you gotta, again, make sure you got lots of room. We're gonna kick our leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5! Woo! Great job, everybody. Thanks for warming up with us. See you next time.
Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you again today. Why don't we stand up and let's sing about how God is a light that guides us through the darkness, kind of like how a lighthouse guides ships in the sea. In my wrestling and in my doubt, in my failures you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you, oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise, you will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. What tomorrow brings, with each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you, oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise, you will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Amen. Well, thank you everyone for singing with me, and I hope to see you all next time. Take care.
Great job singing, everyone. Now, let's watch our Bible story lesson on Joseph.
Stories of the Bible. Joseph forgives. This is Joseph, who was the son of Israel and Rachel. But he had 11 brothers who hated him and sold him into slavery. After being put in jail, Joseph told of the future of Egypt when he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and Joseph found favor with the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh made Joseph a leader in his kingdom. Just as Joseph had told the Pharaoh, Egypt had 7 years of abundance. Then the 7 years of abundance came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. But the Egyptians had food to eat because Joseph had planned for the famine. There was famine in all the other lands, and many came to Joseph to buy food. There was even a famine in the land that Joseph came from. So when Israel heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent his sons to buy some. But Israel did not send Benjamin with the others because he was afraid that harm might come to him. When Joseph's brothers came to him, Joseph recognized them, but he pretended to be a stranger. So Joseph decided to test his brothers. He had his interpreter tell them to send for Benjamin, who had stayed home. And then he threw his brothers in jail for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph let all but one of the brothers take grain to their starving households with the instruction to bring Benjamin back. But Joseph provided for his brothers' journey and gave them grain and silver. The brothers did exactly as Joseph instructed, as they were scared that God was punishing them for what they had done to Joseph so many years before. They traveled home to their father's house, then back to Egypt. Now that he had seen that they brought Benjamin, Joseph was overwhelmed, so he released the brother who was still in prison. But Joseph decided to play one more trick on his brothers. He sent the brothers away but told his servant to hide his silver cup in Benjamin's bag. Then Joseph told the servant to go after the brothers and retrieve the cup. The brothers hadn't traveled far before the servant stopped them and accused them of stealing the cup. Joseph could no longer control himself before his attendants. He made them leave so he could be alone with his brothers, and he told his brothers who he really was.
Ta-da!
He told them of his life and all he had experienced, and he forgave them for what they had done. God was with Joseph and took care of him and showed him favor.
If you've been with us for the last couple of weeks, you have learned that Joseph has had an incredibly difficult life. When he was younger, he got into a big argument with his brothers. They ended up selling him to be a slave. Joseph was separated from his family, far away from home, and even ended up in jail. All of this was so scary for Joseph, but God was with him the entire time. When Joseph was in jail, the Pharaoh had a really confusing dream. He didn't understand it, and he looked all over Egypt to find somebody that would be able to explain it to him. Finally, the Pharaoh found Joseph. Joseph was able to tell Pharaoh what the dream was all about. In our Bible story, we saw what happened with Joseph and how he forgave his brothers for all the mean things they had done to him. Wow, can you believe it? He forgave them. Sometimes people do things that aren't nice and they really hurt our feelings. Maybe somebody calls you a rude name, or your friends all play together and they don't invite you. These kind of things really don't feel good. And sometimes when stuff like this happens to us, we want to make ourselves better by getting back at the people who hurt us. Maybe we would want to call them a mean name back or be rude to them. However, God calls us to forgive people even when they do things that really hurt us. Let's watch this video to learn a little bit more about forgiveness.
Bye, Mr. David! See you later, Winston. Hey, Melly, how was school today?
It was fun until Bastos broke my pinwheel.
Oh no, that would make me sad too. Maybe we can fix it. Do you have any tape?
Yeah, in my backpack.
I think we can fix this.
Oh, it won't be the same. I spent all the day working on it and making it beautiful, and then Bastos just sat on it. It makes me so mad.
It would make me mad too, Melly. But do you think you can forgive Bastos?
What? How do I do that?
Well, when we forgive somebody, we let go of all of our bad feelings towards that person.
Oh, so to forgive Bastos, I would have to stop being mad at him for breaking my pinwheel?
Yeah. And I know that sounds really hard, but I think you can do it. Remember that guy we've been learning about in the Bible named Joseph?
Oh, yeah. He's the one with the 11 brothers.
Yeah. And his brothers were really mean to him. And he could have stayed mad at them forever. He even had the chance to get back at them.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't. He chose to forgive them instead of being mad.
What? How'd he do that?
He had help.
Oh.
God is with us when we forgive others. God has forgiven us of so much, He wants us to forgive others too, so He helps us to do it when we ask Him to.
Oh, okay. I think I need to ask God to help me forgive Bestos.
That's good, Melly. And remember that God is with us when we forgive others. Now look, it's all fixed.
Oh, wow! That looks great!
Yeah.
Thank you so much!
You're welcome.
Now, I think it's time for me to go find Bestos to forgive him.
That's great, Melly. You know, I saw him after school. He said something about needing to head to the library. He had left his shoes there?
Oh, yeah. Bestos keeps his shoes at the library. Can you help me cross the street so I can go find him?
Sure. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
What a great video that reminds us to forgive one another. The Bible tells us that everybody is a sinner. This means that everybody has done things that hurt God and His feelings. This is called sin. What did God do when we hurt His feelings? He forgave us through His Son, Jesus. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would God do that? The answer is that God forgives us because He loves us. It is important for us to recognize when we make mistakes, we should ask God and the person that we hurt to forgive us. Something that is so wonderful about God is that there is nothing we can do that would make Him love us any less. We do not have to be afraid to tell God when we have sinned because we know that He loves us so much and He will forgive us. We get to share God's love with others when we forgive them. And we are able to forgive those who hurt us because God forgave us first. Now, we're almost at the end of our lesson, so go grab your notebooks so we can reflect on what God has been sharing with you. How do you think Joseph was feeling when he first saw his brothers? What kind of thoughts do you think were going through his head? Why is it important to forgive somebody when they hurt us? Has a friend or family member ever forgave you for doing something? How did it make you feel? We can't wait to see you next week. Bye!